Karn is my favorite character in the Mahabharata, as he is for many. There is perhaps an aura about him that makes him so popular. Tell us about him. How was he born? There is a princess from the Yadav clan called Kunti, Sursena's daughter, given in adoption to Kunti Bhoj. She serves Rishi Durvasa, who blesses her with a mantra which allows her to summon any dev and beget his child. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am reading book Devlok with Devdutt Patnayak ji. It's a talk with Devdutt Patnayak ji, and today I'm gonna start reading part 13, Karn. So let's continue. She can become an instant mother without waiting for 9 months. Skeptical about the mantra's power, she, in her childish curiosity, decides to test it. She calls Surya and gets a child. The child is special because he is born wearing a kavach, armor, and kundal, gold earrings. At first, she is excited, but then she realizes that having a child while still a maiden would destroy her reputation. She places the child in a basket and floats it down a river. Who brings up Karn? The basket floats to Hastinapur and gets stuck on the bank of the river, where Sarthis, charioteers, stop to let their horses drink water. A charioteer named Adhirath discovers the baby and takes it to his wife, who finds it beautiful and decides to raise it even though she has children of her own. So, this princely child with a princess for a mother and a powerful dev for a father is raised by charioteers who are of the Sut caste, that is Shudras. This is where the story of the caste system comes into play. Through the story of Karn, you see the hierarchy in society. Rathi is the person who sits in the chariot and is of a higher caste. Sarthi is a low caste charioteer who serves the Rathi as his das. Karn is born a Rathi, but he is raised by a Sarthi. Societal rules at the time demanded that the son takes up the profession of his father. Thus, Karn ought to become a Sarthi. However, to Adhirath's surprise, he wants to become a Rathi. He has the attributes of his Kshatriya one, the desire to dominate, control, fight, to be a warrior, and an adept on learning the art of battle. So he goes to Dronacharya, who is Hastinapur's Rajguru and who trains the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The strict professional Dronacharya refuses, saying he only teaches children of royalty. So Karn goes off to Parshuram, who does not like Kshatriyas and teaches only Brahmins. Karn dresses up as a Brahmin and approaches Parshuram and learns from him through deceit. One day, Parshuram discovers that Karn is not a Brahmin. He curses the warrior, saying that the day Karn needs his knowledge the most to save himself, he will forget everything he has learned from Parshuram and die. Whom does Karn marry? In the Sanskrit Mahabharata, it is not clearly mentioned. In folklore, it's said that he married Vrishali, another charioteer's daughter, a woman from his own jati. But the interesting story is when he goes to participate in Draupadi's Swamvar. Technically, he can win and marry Draupadi, but when Draupadi comes to know his jati, his father and family, she rejects him. Krishna too is present there, but he does not participate in the Swamvar. Why it is not hasn't been explained in the text. My hypothesis is that when he watches Karn, a charioteer's son, being turned away, he questions how he, a cowherd son, can take part. His story, after all, is similar to Karn's. Although royalty, he has been adopted and raised by cowherds. In a way, by rejecting Karn, Draupadi rejects Krishna. There is a story involving Duryodhan in which a different shade of his character emerges. At what could be called their graduation ceremony, Dronacharya wants to exhibit all the skills of warfare the royal children have learned from him. For the first time, Karn comes into the arena and says he wishes to participate. Everybody, including Dronacharya and Bhishma, refuses him because he is a charioteer's son. Bhim also insults him and calls him a servant, unaware that he is his brother, both being Kunti's son. Arjun too feels insecure as Karn appears to be his competition in archery. As Kunti watches this drama unfold, she recognizes Karn from his gold armor and is aggrieved to see her eldest son being insulted by her younger sons. Only Duryodhan supports Karn, saying the merit is important. One wonders whether Duryodhan is actually advocating for Karn or if he is just making the most of the opportunity to defeat the hated Pandavas. Does he genuinely like Karn? He claims he is his friend, makes him king of Ang, by virtue of which Karn is called Angraj. However, people say that it doesn't change his birth as a Shudra. This complexity is a theme of the Mahabharata. Karn has a friend who is not a friend, a mother who is not a mother, brother who are not his brothers. This loneliness follows him throughout his life. Karn is known as Danveer, an extremely generous person. He is even compared with Harish Chandra. Are there any stories about this? Indeed, Karn is very generous. When he becomes king of Ang, is rich and is no longer a Sarthi. He has become a Rathi. He declares that nobody will return empty-handed from his house. Once, a man comes asking for logs of chandan, sandalwood. Karn doesn't have any, but his house is made of chandan, so he breaks it down and gives the wood to him. In Andhra Pradesh, there is a famous story which tells of a girl who is standing on the side of the road drinking milk. When Karn drives past in his chariot, her pot accidentally falls from her hand and the milk spills. She starts crying, telling him to return the milk to her. Karn picks up the mud and with his incredible strength squeezes the milk out of it and gives it to her. Though the little girl is pleased, Bhudevi is unhappy. She accuses him of snatching away milk that rightfully belonged to her. She curses Karn and says that one day she too will hold back his chariot so that he cannot move. And that's the day he'll die. Despite his generosity, Karn is cursed. When he is dying, Krishna goes to him disguised as a Brahmin and asks if he has anything he can give him. Karn pulls out his golden teeth and hands them to him. When Krishna comes back for more, Karn says, I give you all my punya. Good Karn that's accumulated. He keeps giving dan, so is called Danveer Karn. So, this is it for today. I'll be back. Till then, keep smiling and keep listening beautiful stories too.